Hey, I'm Brother Mark Mary.
Brother Malachi.
We are the Franciscan Friars of the Renewal, and this is Ascension Presents. I've had the chance to live with Brother Malachi now for a couple of years, and obviously I'm going to get to know him pretty well. But just recently, I heard him tell a story that I'd never heard before, and it resonated so much with my heart and so much with what it was that brought me to the Friars that I wanted him to share it with everybody.
We were in Tijuana, Mexico, Southern California, Baja California, and it was summertime, beautiful, and we were actually going out on these mission trips to serve those who lived in the city drains of Tijuana. So those giant kind of cement aqueducts that are like 35 feet up on the sides, they had these huge drains that pour into them water from the city, and those are like 6 feet or so in diameter. And living inside these drains were people who were homeless, who were addicted to drugs and suffering from all sorts of just really horrible situations. So this mission team that I was with was going to just bring food and something to drink to them. And I found myself in the back of a van driving up for this, and as soon as we arrived the first day, we get out and I find my heart just gripped with fear. I mean, fear of like, oh my gosh, what am I going to say to these people? How am I going to connect with them? And then all of a sudden, coming up over the edge of the canal is the folks that are living down in the drains, and they come over, and as they come near, I don't know what to do, and so I figured like, okay, I'm just going to like grab coffee and give it to them. So that's what I did, just grabbing coffee. Hola, ¿cómo estás? I'm like nervous about my Spanish too, you know. And so anyhow, in the midst of this, you know, I'm finding myself just struggling to connect, and we end the day, we're packing up and we're driving away, and I just felt, I felt both a desire to want to do more and also a shame about my inability to love them, you know, and just this chasm between us. And thank God it wasn't the last time that we went there when I was on that trip. In fact, a week later we went, and in the interim I prayed and I asked the Lord, I was like, God, give me your heart for them so that I'll love them enough to want to reach out and connect. And so the next time we're driving up, and I turned to this guy, JP, who was kind of the leader of the group, the local missionary, and said, hey, can I go with you down to the drains to actually invite the people to come up? Because that's what he had done last time. And he was like, sure, come on, you know. And so sure enough, we pull up, the van doors open up, and we start piling out the back, and it felt like a military deployment for me. It was like running out, ran over to the edge of this canal, and I looked down like a 35-foot incline to the base and turned to JP. I'm like, is this the way? He was like, yeah, man, straight down. So I just jump over the ledge and like sliding in my chacos down the cement and smack the bottom and look around, and it's just trash and this dirty water that's like careening down the canal, and look up, and it's just beautiful summer blue sky, and just the contrast hit me. And then I see just about 15 yards down the way the first drain, so we walk over to it, and as we get nearer, I look inside, and JP is next to me, and it's just black, and I can't see anything. And then slowly my eyes adjust, and I start to make out what looks like some, you know, old mattresses in there. And then there's movement, and these people begin to emerge, and it just was like this ghastly sight to see these people living in this kind of depravity. So they come, we tell them, hey, there's food up here, there's drink or whatever, come on. And they smile when they see us and clamber out of the drains and then climb up the edge and over to get their coffee and hot soup and things they were serving. And one drain after another, we do this. And we're just about to leave, and I look across the other side of the canal, and there's a farther one up about 100 yards from us. And I look at it, and I'm like, hey, JP, we need to go over there. He's like, well, we don't have much time, so hurry up. So I just take off sprinting, and I run up to get where I can cross over the water in the middle, and it ends up being like 150 yards around to the other side. And as soon as I get up to the drain, I'm a bit winded, kind of huffing and puffing. And the same experience, you know, it's bright blue sky. I come up to the edge of the drain, I look inside, and it's just black. And I can't see much. And then all of a sudden, this man starts walking out, and he's just emaciated, rags for clothes. He walks out, and he looks at me, and he just starts saying, lo siento, I'm sorry. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, what are you sorry for? And then he goes on to say, he's like, I'm sorry you have to come here and see me like this. He's like, I don't want to be here. He was like, but Satan has me by this. And he holds up his hand, and in his hand is a needle filled with whatever drug that he's addicted to. He's like, I want to leave this. I can't leave this. And he's like, but thank you for coming. And then he points up above us, And there's one of those catwalks that crosses the drains, crosses over the canal. And in fact, some people were walking by at that very moment. And he points up and he says, every day they walk by, they look down and all they see is trash. And he says, but you come and you see us and you bring God to us. Thank you. And I'm just sitting here in front of this man like who am I to be here at this moment with this man in the midst of his suffering? Who am I to be standing here before him looking at the beauty of this human being in the midst of this darkness? And I just said, I don't know what I can do for you. And he's like, I can't come for the food. And I said, well, can I pray for you? What's your name? And he just looks at me and he was like, Me llamo Jesus Emmanuel. Jesus Emmanuel. Jesus, God with us. And as I'm looking at this man and beginning to say a short prayer with him, I'm just overcome with the fact that I've walked over that catwalk so many times in so many different situations in my life. And finally, at that moment, discovered that this is where I want to spend the rest of my life. Standing right there with this man in the ugliness of his situation, being given the gift from him of being able to encounter God here in the poor, and being given the gift in my life to be able to bring the light and the hope of Christ to him. Let him know that he's not alone. And I think for all of us, what is it, where is it in our life that there's that place of darkness, that there's that person who's in loneliness? Could be physical, could be spiritual, could be addiction. There's all sorts of ways people are suffering. And often they retreat into that darkness and people just walk by and look down and see nothing. Where is it that Christ is calling you, calling me to come out of ourselves, to love enough, to go to that darkness, to bring the presence of Jesus there, his light, and to discover that not only are we bringing his light, but his light and his presence are waiting for us there as well.
It's powerful, and it's something that's good for me to hear again and again and again. And just encourage you to pray with it. Let us know what the Lord's saying down below in the comments. Let us know what he's stirring in you, and the journey will continue again next week. Thanks for the prayers, and we'll see you again. God bless.
God bless.